Expelled from office, a showdown in the Tennessee state capitol as two lawmakers face backlash for allegedly joining protesters calling for tougher gun laws. More on the political fallout. Security breach with personal patient information compromised. A cyber attack hitting one of Colorado's largest hospital groups. The confidential data exposed and what hospital officials are saying. And Easter weekend is here. We've got a look at the sunrise services happening all across the metro.
Thanks for joining us on Denver 7 News at 11. I'm Amy Wattis. It's being called an extraordinary act of political retaliation in the rare political showdown at the Tennessee state capitol. The Republican majority voting out two Democratic lawmakers for allegedly violating House rules when they joined protests calling for stricter gun laws. It's the first partisan expulsion in the state's modern history. ABC's Faith Abube in Washington with the latest.
This morning, the fallout after the Republican supermajority in the Tennessee State House took the extremely rare step of ousting two of their Democratic colleagues.
Expelled from the House of Representatives of the 113th Assembly of the state of Tennessee.
A third Democrat, Representative Gloria Johnson, narrowly surviving the expulsion.
It might have to do with the color of our skin.
Johnson, a white woman, joined her two black colleagues, Representatives Justin Pearson and Justin Jones, last week in a protest on the House floor, demanding stricter gun laws in the wake of the Nashville Christian elementary school shooting that killed 6 people, including 3 children. The move bringing House business to a halt, triggering the Republican-led expulsion vote on Thursday, accusing the 3 Democrats of violating chamber decorum.
We called for you all to ban assault weapons, and you respond with an assault on democracy.
We're going to continue to fight to ensure that more lives are not lost to the epidemic of gun violence.
Overnight, President Biden weighing in, writing in part, rather than debating the merits of the issue, these Republican lawmakers have chosen to punish, silence, and expel duly elected representatives of the people of Tennessee. Former President Barack Obama also sharply criticizing the Tennessee Republicans who voted to oust their Democratic colleagues, writing in part, "Silencing those who disagree with us is a sign of weakness, not strength, and it won't lead to progress." The Tennessee House Republican Speaker defending the move.
There are consequences for action. I voted for all 3. Obviously, I thought all 3 should have been expelled.
And this is the 4th time since 1866 that Tennessee legislators have been expelled. The 2 Democrats will get a chance to once again run for their seats once a special election is announced. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC News.
Here in Colorado, some state lawmakers are showing their support for 3 Tennessee state lawmakers, and 2 were expelled for participating in gun control protests. On a party line vote, Democratic Representatives Justin Pearson and Justin Jones were expelled from their seats. Fellow Democrat Gloria Johnson, who is white, narrowly escaped expulsion by the Republican majority.
You cannot ignore the racial dynamic of what happened today. 2 young black lawmakers get expelled and the 1 white woman does not. That's a statement in and of itself.
Tennessee's Republican House Speaker denied race played a factor. Pearson and Jones are eligible to run again for their seats in a special election. A 19-year-old is facing charges for allegedly planning attacks on 3 schools in Colorado Springs. William Whitworth, who goes by Lily, attended 2 of those schools. Court documents show a family member reported Whitworth. Elbert County Sheriff's deputies found a manifesto, journals with a list of guns and how to 3D print them, plus a list of people who would be killed in the teen's home.
It is such a pretty end to the week. We're looking at plenty of sunshine right now across the state and some very spring-like conditions settling in here over the next few days. That's the view from Winter Park. Obviously still snow on the slopes, but those roadways drying out. Those high mountain passes are going to be a lot drier here for any travel this weekend. Here in town, we're looking at some upper 40s to low 50s right now. We're going to get to near 60 degrees by 1 o'clock and then low to mid 60s this afternoon. So it's going to be about 10 to 12 degrees warmer than yesterday. Denver at right around 65. Castle Rock, you're at 62, more 40s up and through the mountains. So some warmer weather developing and sticking with us. In fact, next week we could see some record tying or breaking highs. We'll take a closer look at that coming up.
Personal data from patients compromised and exposed following cyber attacks hitting Centura Health hospitals. Denver 7's Jessica Crawford has more on what hospitals are saying about the attack and those who might be affected.
I'm Denver 7's Jessica Crawford with an update on how a healthcare system in our area has experienced a data breach. If your information was exposed, you'll get a letter from Common Spirit Health. The health network won't say how many people were affected by this. The ransomware attack happened sometime between September 16th and October 3rd. Common Spirit reported it took until late February to confirm what information the hackers had accessed. It started sending letters Thursday to patients whose information was exposed. Compromised information includes names, dates of birth, diagnoses, and treatments patients received, as well as health insurance information and contact info. A small number of patients' social security numbers may also have been stolen. Common Spirit said it hasn't found any evidence that patients' information was misused, but urged victims to read their bills carefully just in case. If you need more information about this data breach, then call the number 1-866-869-0312. In Denver, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
All right, Jessica, thank you. The Colorado House Speaker is calling for an investigation after a boy was forcibly removed from the gallery at the state capitol. We first told you about the story yesterday. It happened Wednesday as students were calling for more school security and gun reform.
This is our First Amendment right. Kids are dying, and nobody is listening.
How many more kids will die?
A North High School student shot this video. Colorado State Patrol was going to remove that teen you just saw speaking, saying she was disruptive. It's a rule to remain quiet sitting in the legislative viewing area. Now the boy sitting next to her refused to get out of the way.
We need you to step up so we can get her out. We're not asking you guys to leave. We need to pull her out. If you refuse to get up, you're going to be removed as well.
For what?
Okay, get up. You're out.
Troopers later carried the boy out by his arms and legs. His identity has not been made public. He has not been accused or charged with a crime. Denver voters will choose between Mike Johnston and Kelly Brough for the next mayor. With just over 2,000 votes left to count, Johnston still leads with 24% of the vote. Kelly Brough has 20%. Those numbers still have to be officially certified. The runoff election will be on June 6th. Denver's FBI office has a warning when it comes to your cell phones. It's asking people to avoid free public charging ports you see at some malls and even airports. The agency says scammers can install malware and tracking software onto computers and phones. The FBI recommends carrying your own charger and USB cord with you and using a wall outlet instead. A DIA spokesperson told the Denver Post there are ways to determine if a public charging port has been tampered with and take it out of service. But went on to say the best defense against this type of attack is updating smartphone software to alert you of this type of attack. Well, for the second year in a row, DIA is near the top of the list of the world's busiest airports. It once again ranks number 3. According to Airports Council International, more than 69 million people traveled through DIA in 2022. Now this year, the airport expects to see even more, about 74 million passengers. Atlanta held the top spot with more than 93 million passing through, followed by Dallas-Fort Worth. CDOT trucks are taking the road without a driver. The agency has 2 of them for road stripping. They protect workers by absorbing the impact and collapsing if there is a crash. One of these trucks is working in northeast Colorado in the Lyman and Greeley area. Another is down south in the Alamosa area. Denver 7 traffic expert Jason Luber talked to CDOT about expanding it to more areas.
Does it like to be in the rural situations then where there isn't a lot of traffic around to either hit it and or confuse it, if you will?
We've been testing it in rural areas on roads with lower traffic counts, simply because we wanted to see how it performs, and before we get it out onto roads with a lot higher traffic. So it's doing well, and we make adjustments here and there and have lessons learned.
The trucks also have radar and GPS, so if something gets in the way, it will stop on its own. A local coach is being honored this weekend. Rudy Carey is not only the 2023 Denver Post All-Colorado Boys Coach of the Year, he also has more wins than any other coach in Colorado high school boys basketball history. Coach Carey is a graduate of East High, and he's the head coach there. And tomorrow he will be honored with Rudy Carey Day at Manual High School with games, a clinic, and other events. Everyone is welcome as the community thanks him and celebrates him on becoming Colorado's winningest all-time high school basketball coach, and congratulations to him. It will be another great day for baseball. A beautiful opening day at Coors Field. Game 2 against the Nationals starts just before 7 tonight. Some dramatics in Game 1. New left fielder Jurickson Profar robbed the Nationals of a home run. He even snagged the ball away from a Rockies fan, but it kept the game scoreless. Defense played a big role. Denver native Kyle Freeland went 6 2/3 shutout innings. He struck out 5. The Rockies got on the board in the 5th, Chris Bryant driving in Ezequiel Tovar. And that's all they needed. Want to know the final? Jose Urena will take the mound tonight. And we have a lot of happenings this weekend. More Rockies action, and it's Easter Sunday. And we are taking a live look at a big warm-up this weekend and how it's going to get, and we've got your full Denver 7 weekend forecast coming up next.
I'm John Matarese. We're in what they're calling a deal drought right now, a month with no really big sales. But I'll show you how you can still score some bargains coming up.